Welcome to the Canadian Scrapbooker Magazine web show. My name is Jackie, and I am super excited because Cathie Allan is in the house. Don't go anywhere. I'm so excited to have my very good friend, Cathie Allan, on the show with us here today. She is going to be showing us how to use her very fabulous, the Cathie Allan Position It. So we're going to get right into it. Go for it. Cathie, what are you doing for us today?
I am going to be showing you a wonderful tool that is going to open up all kinds of stamping possibilities for you. It is called a Position It. It actually is two tools in one. It comes with a baseboard, a couple of positioners, one that is on the board but can be released, a piece of acrylic, and what I call a sub-positioner. The sub-positioners have non-slip feet, so you find when you go to work on your project, it really doesn't want to move around because these little guys are going to hold it in place. First thing we're going to do is use it to align an image across a piece of paper. And what you're going to do is take the acrylic and pop that right into your sub-positioner. Or if
so
you
just
want
a second, Cathie. So this is what we're going to show them that we're doing right here?
Exactly.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So what we're going to do is we're going to ink the stamp, and I like to use a multi-surface ink, something that's going to dry on my acrylic.
Perfect.
And I've got the acrylic set into the corner of the sub-positioner, and I'm simply going to guide it down into the corner and come down onto the acrylic. You'll notice that our positioners are thicker, so I didn't have any trouble getting in contact with the corner, and I didn't contact the acrylic first.
Perfect.
Now we have this beautiful image is sitting on this acrylic, and look, we can put it wherever we want. All right, so we're going to lift up our project, and you see I've got a little bit of repositionable tape back here.
Right back there.
And I just have to get that backing off.
Got her.
And now that's going to hold my project down to my base, so it's not going to slip around on me while I'm working. And I'm going to start creating a border by taking the acrylic and putting my image on my project as I like to see it. I'm going to take the little sub-positioner, tuck it into the corner. I'm going to remove the acrylic, put that aside, pick up my stamp. Make sure you're stamping it exactly the same way that you had it on your acrylic. And down it goes into the corner, and on it goes onto my project.
Perfect.
It's perfect, but watch, it even gets better. We can do it again. Okay? Now this is even nice because sometimes, I'm working with cling rubber here, but sometimes even when you're working with your clear rubber stamps, you won't be able to get it quite as perfect as this because we're seeing exactly where the image is going, and I can twist it so I can match this up. Basically, you're playing puzzle with your rubber stamps. And because the positioners themselves are extra thick, it is really easy to get into this corner here before contacting your paper, which means you're not going to get any smears on your project. And you can see we're just barely touching it here.
Awesome.
We can continue it right across the paper, however you like to see it. Here I've just added a simple edging. Borders, putting corners into corners are never going to be a problem anymore.
Awesome. Okay, now what's the next thing you're going to
show?
The
next project I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to do that.
I'll hand that to Vanna.
Okay. And I love doing that. We're going to actually now use the Position It as a repositioner. Okay, so we used it as a positioner. Now we're going to use it as a repositioner.
Our end result that you're doing is going to look something like this?
Yes.
Yay!
It's so much fun. I need some black paper. This is just way fun to do. And we're going to grab some white ink and a different stamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper,
which is right.
Is that one or
underneath there?
Yeah.
I have all kinds of stuff on here for you, Cathie.
There we go.
There we go.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tape. I'm going to take a small piece of this tape and use a tape that can be rubbed off the back of your project when all is said and done.
A tiny bit.
And I'm going to set my project onto a scrap piece of paper. Here is my stamp that I'm going to use, and I'm going to place it on my project. It's a cling image. So first what we're going to do is we're going to take that, I want to see my image like this. Now if I just guided it into the corner, I'd have a little bit of difficulty getting it into the corner, realigning it. So I'm going to grab, and more subs are available. You can buy another set of subs, and I love this 2-inch sub because look at how easy it is to just move that into the corner.
Perfect.
take some magic tape, and you're going to tape the project down well.
Cool.
And and you want it down, this is really important. You don't want that moving at all. So use 2-3 pieces of tape, but make sure it's a removable tape.
Perfect.
Put your sub-positioner back in. Notice how easy it was to tape around the project because of the sub-positioner. Tuck that nicely back into the corner. Take your stamp, and let's ink it with this beautiful alabaster color.
I like that name, alabaster.
Say
Say that 3 times fast.
Nope, can't do it. And we're going to stamp our image. So we're going to take that image, again, guide it into the corner, and stamp it down on the paper. It's pretty nice, but pretty weak, but it's not a problem because we can stamp our images over and over again in exactly the same place. I can stamp it 2 times. I can stamp it 3 times. I can stamp it 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, as many times as I want, building up that value of the alabaster ink, so I'm getting an extremely strong value of ink. Look at what we're creating here.
Really nice.
Here it is stamped once. Here it is stamped many times.
Really nice.
I'm going to take, this is a blended style of ink, and to use a blended style of ink,
so now we're going to add the color.
We're going to add color.
Okay,
this is so much fun. And I am going to start with this French blue, and I'm going to add it just to the corners here.
Let's make sure everyone can see exactly what you're doing. Do you see that, how she's just added a little bit on there like that?
And you can use this handy-dandy erase tool to get the ink off where you don't want it, and I basically just took it off the stamp.
Oh, so you just did that with a normal Q-tip.
Yeah, just the normal. The Q-tips aren't normal. They're not only good for babies, but they're a crafting person's most wonderful toy. Okay. And we're starting to add this beautiful French blue to our project. That's not deep enough for me, so I'm going to pick up some more of that color.
Okay.
And I'm going to stamp it again, and I'm going to stamp it again till the depth of that color is where I want it to be. So now we're going to add some of this beautiful lavender ink to this stamp pad, and we're going to add the lavender. Make sure you always stamp that stamp in exactly the same way.
Oh, that's very,
and
very
look
pretty.
at how we can build that color. When was the last time you stamped on a dark piece of cardstock and got any true depth of color from your rubber stamp? Then I'm going to take the lavender back, because guess what? I'm going to decide to just fringe this.
So put it right here, Cathie, so that everyone can see that really nice. How's that? Can we see that good?
I'm going to take that.
Okay.
And we can also take our Q-tip and just soften those edges. So you can play with it.
So that's how you created that soft right in here? That's what you did?
Exactly. Oh. Sometimes, and you can also, if you can't find a Q-tip, you can also use a damp paper towel. Look at what we've just created. Did anybody lose track how many times I have physically stamped this image? And look at how precise the image itself is. This is also wonderful if you're stamping an image.
We're doing the stem. We're going to get
I'm
some
adding
green.
the stem. How many times do you take an image and you decide and you stamp it and you don't get a complete image? If your image is locked, if your project is locked in a Cathie Allan Position It, you've got as many times as you want to stamp your image.
Very nice. Go. Gorgeous.
All right.
But you're not done though.
No, I was going to show you
She
one
has
thing.
more.
I have another one.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to take that
We'll
one
take
off.
This one. I'll take this off for you.
There you go.
Beautiful.
And we're going to need another piece of scrap paper. So if we grab one from under there.
Under here?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. And we don't need it quite that large. And it's just scrap paper. So you can use just good old computer paper or any of that scrap that you've been throwing in your garbage. Just take it out. This is what you want to use it for. And again, I'm going to take I'm going to work on a tag. And I am going to take my tag and I'm going to put it onto the scrap piece of paper again.
Can everyone see that good at home? Do we need to go a little bit more?
There we go. So you can see. Now put it onto your scrap paper. So you've got about a 1/2 inch clearance on the left and the right hand side. All right, so we're going to take a stamp, a nice clean dry stamp, and you're going to take your image. Again, it's cut very, very close, and we're going to place it on our project as we want to see it.
And you haven't inked it yet or anything?
No,
you just
it's
set it on
a nice clean stamp. So you can grab one of your sub-positioners, or you can even grab 2. beauty of these sub-positioners, if you've got a larger project in here, notice how we can continually move into the project.
Right.
That's what the sub-positioners do. You simply have to make sure that they're pulled into place.
Right.
For this one, this 2-inch one is going to work again. I'm going to simply put that in place, tuck it into the corner, and I'm ready to go. We need our magic tape. Take your magic tape and again tape the project down well onto the baseboard. Notice that whenever I have my project affixed to a scrap piece of paper, there's absolutely no tape going onto the project, which is wonderful.
So you save the peel off of the tape afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ink the stamp, but I just want a very light value of this ink. So we're going to ink that stamp, tap, 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 not squish, squish, squish. All you need to do
I like to squish.
you just need to raise the raised area.
Okay.
And onto a scrap piece of paper, and just
I'll
move
hold
that
that for
away.
you.
And you want to get rid of at least 2 or 3 images.
So this is the values of it.
Yes, and
Is
we
that
want a
in a good
nice
spot?
light value. It's perfect.
Okay.
And now we're going to, again, stamp down onto our project. A very, very light value.
Okay.
We can remove, we're going to add color. Wonderful.
This is where we're going with this.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Okay.
So we've got this nice light image, and not only is it light, and it's got less ink, so it dried super quick. It's ready to go. I want to use some really fun inks that have got lots of iridescence in it. So, and because it's a quick dry, I am going to take some clear Top Boss. That is an embossing ink, but also acts as an extender.
Okay.
And simply take my foam tip.
Which we love. We love the Clear Snap color box.
It's like having a paintbrush for your
Stylus.
pads.
Yes.
And I'm going to apply that clear Top Boss, which has
And you
nice,
probably can't see that at home yet. It's just going on nice and wet and clear.
it's making it really, really slippery.
Slippery wet.
So now I can go in here and I can do
Magic
this.
begins.
Yeah, I can play with this with my eyes closed. And what we're doing now is adding a beautiful shimmery background.
So they can, if you see this at home, you can see where she's kind of going with this.
Now we're just adding this beautiful background that you can always add if you think that the ink is drying a little bit fast. Just pick up some more of that Top Boss and add it to it. And then we're going to add a little bit of the red. And notice what I'm doing is I'm being color specific to the area, which is kind of fun. So we're creating this background, and it's just very loose. Just have some fun in it with it. Now what we're going to do here is now we've put in this lovely background, now you're going to want to add some more color.
Do you have to wait for this to dry at all, Cathie?
It's dry almost now.
It's almost dry, okay.
It's especially under these lights that we have. If you found that this is a very wonderful ink. It dries very quickly, but the beauty of this, it's very opaque. If you don't have this style of ink, you could even go in here, and you can see I'm going to use a handy dandy Q-tip. You could even go in here and paint with acrylic paint. It doesn't matter anymore that what you're coloring with is opaque, because what we're going to do is put the detail back in, the lines back in, after we're finished coloring. So you can see how this is all blending beautifully together. And you can see I have just added this color. And once we have completely colored it, and I've got one over there that is ready to go.
Yes. We'll just
Through the magic of television.
Hand it over.
There you go. You can see I just completely colored it. And it looks very pretty, but we've lost the detail. That's very easy now. We're going to take our sub-positioner. We're going to put it back in place. We're going to take our stamp. We're going to re-ink it, and this time,
Get ready for the bomb.
We're going to add it. We want a nice quick dry ink, and here we go. Right back down on top of it, and all your detail is back. Whatever you choose to color with it, your detail is always the very last thing that you add. You always look like a genius.
Oh, that's
and
gorgeous.
It's the tool that's doing it.
It's absolutely gorgeous, Cathie.
You like it?
I love it. Awesome. Cathie Allan is a wonder. Here's another fantastic creation that started off as just a single piece of white cardstock. It is absolutely hard to believe. Cathie put this together using some gorgeous, fantastic stamps from Magenta, and all kinds of different kinds of ink from Clear Snap. If you would like to see and learn how to make Cathie Allan's Bliss layout, the step-by-steps, make sure that you pick up your summer 2010 copy of Canadian Scrapbooker magazine. We have stepped this layout out, and you can see each stage and all of the things that it takes to create this layout, beautifully photographed in our summer edition. Cathie, thank you so much for coming to our show. Make sure you pick up your next issue of Canadian Scrapbooker magazine. Cathie Allan is a regular in our magazine, and we are so pleased to have her. So thank you again, Cathie.
Thank you.